million prize. Lolly chose to take his winnings as a one lump sum payment of $650,000 before taxes. His favorite store earned a $10,000 bonus for selling the winning ticket. Is that a common thing? If you sell big time tickets, the store gets a bonus, or is that maybe just up there in Massachusetts?
I don't know, because seems like
that's some incentives there.
Right. I'd be one to own a store that was giving away plenty of tickets, and people want to continue to come and buy other things from your store as well. So it's a win-win for you as a store.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Some marketing stuff there. That is no doubt about that.
It's kind of like having the little ATM that spits out random money to you.
Yeah. You never know. Like that, what was that one chick that found hundreds of thousands of dollars extra in her bank account? Now she's in a little bit of trouble.
Finders keepers, man. We got to live by that.
I mean, that's what we grew up. Finders keepers, losers weepers.
Exactly. And so sorry about your luck, business. Maybe you should, it's like a double check verification or whatever. You know what I mean? Two-step verification.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of on you there, boss. You sent it to the wrong person, but it is what it is at this point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That really should be the case. If you find it, you should, or if it comes to you without you doing anything illegal, like, why then get in trouble?
You should at least get a cut.
Monopoly. Yeah. Monopoly, you had the chance card, said bank error in your favor. Here's $50.
Boom.
Was Monopoly just a lie?
I think so. Yeah, because I've been passing go a lot of green
and
lights,
not getting
nothing happened.
No cash money, no $200
no one's
each
like,
time.
Here's your $200. Like, yeah, go, man.
The $500 bill in Monopoly, that color still has like an endorphin release in my brain when I see that color, because like, ooh, there's a $500. I'm gonna go buy some hotels and win this game.
What is the? I can 500 purple, right?
No, it's like a burnt orange kind of color. Yeah, because the $100 bill is like a yellowish orange. The 50, I believe, is blue. The 20 is that greenish color. The dollars are white. The fives are pink. I don't know.
Makes sense.
And then tens, I forget which color tens
All
are.
I know is that's what Texas was playing Schlossnagel in, is those $500 burnt oranges.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A lot of those $500 burnt oranges. But that is the end of our Afternoon Delight debrief on this Thursday. When we get back, we're going to talk about the most hostile fan bases in sports. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
If you get one more, you're going to Atlanta next Friday. Which of these Atlanta Braves once hit 4 home runs in one game? Was it?
Bob Warner.
Don't even got to read off any. You are going to Truist Park, my man.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The remainder of the day, a likelihood of thunderstorms and some clouds, and a temperature of 86 with wind 13 to 17 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. A mixture of some clouds and likely thunderstorms tonight, and quite warm near 80. Definite thunderstorms and 86 tomorrow. 87 and some sun in the early morning, but otherwise likely thunderstorms Saturday. This is your Thursday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a place that feels like home right in the heart of Panama City? Well, look no further than Charlie Corm's Place at their new location on 15th Street. Charlie Corm's is not just a place, it's an experience. Imagine cozy corners, friendly faces, and the aroma of delicious dishes that'll make your taste buds dance. From sunrise breakfast to late night bites, Charlie Corm's on 15th Street has it all. Charlie Corm's Place on 15th Street is now offering exclusive weekday lunch specials. Visit Charlie Corm's Place on 15th Street. Look for the giant mural.
The locals love him.
You're gonna love this. You are my favorite. It's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And Welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Give us a call during this segment. I want to hear everybody's thoughts. Give us a call, 850-215-6290. We're going to dive into, this is from the Twitter handle Big Game Boomer. They've ranked the top 50 most hostile fan bases in all of sports. When you hear the word hostile fan base, what are you thinking in that? Because you have like crazy fans, hardest places to play, but this is most hostile fan bases in all of sports.
I imagine kids throwing batteries at Santa Claus or throwing up double birds to Eli Manning. I imagine the Philadelphia Eagles fan base, the Philadelphia Phillies fan base, just places where the Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know if it's as much the same fan base as them being in Vegas as how it was in Oakland.
Yeah.
But hostile in those situations. I would say even LSU is a bit of a hostile fan base as well.
Yeah. Well, and this is the top 50 in all of sports. So this is covering NFL, college football, basketball, football, hockey.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's got, and there's really only, I think I'm seeing only one football club on this particular list. But
Manchester United.
Bingo. God, you're so good at this. Number 8 on the list, Man U, the only one here in the top 50, but you knew it right off the get-go.
There we go.
Soccer hooligans.
I don't even know where that one came from, but
you were ready.
Yep.
You were ready. That was good. But hey, in the top, and this is an easy one. This is a toss-up. Out of all the cities that have multiple professional sports, what do you think has the most in the top 20? It's kind of a layup.
Philly.
Yeah, Philly. Yep,
Philly.
absolutely.
Easy money.
Easy money.
Shout out Big Game Boomer.
That's it. All right, but number 1, we'll just kind of slowly go through this list a little bit. But number 1 on the list, who do you think?
Give me the Eagles.
No, they're number 3 on the list.
Okay.
Yes.
Eagles are number 3, so then,
It is NFL.
Oh, it is NFL.
Yep. That's a hint. I give you another hint, too. You've already mentioned this team, which is fantastic.
Oh, the Raiders?
Yep. The Raiders are number 1 as the most hostile fan base. Is it hostile or hostile? I like hostile better.
It's kind of like you saying Detroit and me saying Detroit.
Yeah.
Like, either or, my friend. I'll say hostile.
I like hostile, too, because it's hostile, agile.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand.
Yeah, who says agile?
Agile.
Only if you're adding the T, like the ility. Agility.
Agility.
Yeah, you can't say
agility. Or we can.
You can.
I'm going to start saying, man, you kids got a lot of agility. They're like, what? Stop talking to me. But yeah.
Agility.
That's a tough one. That's like saying DJU's name.
Yeah.
You got to really think about it. The more you have to think about it, the tougher it is to pronounce. I learned that every day here on this show. But the Oakland Raiders, number 1 most hostile fan base. Number 2 is not the Eagles, but and it's a college football team.
Ooh, No, can't be Penn State.
It's not Penn State. Let me see if Penn State's even in the top 50. I think they just got one of the best atmospheres in college football.
Okay, so I'll go LSU, but I wouldn't be surprised to see if they said Tennessee. It's Tennessee.
It's Tennessee.
And I think that goes back to Lane Kiffin
Yep.
when he was there and they're throwing the golf ball or through the golf ball, mustard bottles,
Yep.
all that kind of stuff. So Tennessee makes sense.
There you go. You're so good at this. It's ridiculous. All right, number 3, we've already said it. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think we need to go in a whole lot of explanation on that one. It's part of the lore and the culture of professional sports there in Philadelphia. Number 4 on this list, another college football team. It's not LSU, as they're a little bit further down.
Oh, LSU's a little bit further down.
A little bit further
I didn't know
down,
if you're talking about geographically speaking.
Well, yeah,
here.
that is true as well.
So we'll go Florida Gators.
No, Florida Gators, they're in the top 20, but they've got the Ohio State Bucks as number 4 on the most hostile fan bases in all of sports.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hostile place to be, especially if your name is Michigan.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Or Penn State, or really anybody that comes into the shoe.
So my whole life, I've always called it, the shoe, the horseshoe.
Yeah.
But I just realized what the actual name of the stadium is. Ohio Stadium.
Ooh, fancy.
No, I hate
The shoe's so
that.
much better.
But what they could do is they could call it, and I can't take credit for this. I believe it was AG and James kind of coming together with this, the Ohio Stadium.
Yeah.
And then all right, you get a pass
Just
there.
gotta add the on it there.
Yeah, and Ohio Stadium.
Oh, Stadium.
Instead
Kind of like
stadium.
agility, but agility.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Makes sense. All right. Number 5 on this list. Randy, we're doing something. We're hosting a show here, man. All right. This is the same state, but it's professional football in this one. It's an easy hint, and they have orange helmets, and neither one were paying attention. So I'm going to let everybody know it's the Cleveland Browns, the Dog Pound, 5th most hostile fan base there in sports, the second here, or third on NFL. So in your top 5, you've got 3 NFL teams and you've got 2 college football teams as well. So football dominating the top 5 there in the most hostile fan bases, and I think that's completely fair, as those environments are trying to be very, very difficult for you to play in. That's for sure. Number 6 on this list is the first basketball team, and it doesn't go until the 16th one where we have our next basketball team, but it is as David calls it, the Detroit Pistons, or as I call it, the Detroit Pistons. The malice at the palace, all the crazy stuff that's happened there in Detroit basketball history brings them number 6 there on the list. That's the first, just recapping, getting back, we had Ohio State, and then number 5, we had another NFL team, same state, the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, Cleveland Browns.
Which I think is fair. The Dog Pound, the history, all those things. So in the top 5, you've got 3 NFL teams and 2 college teams there.
That makes sense.
And it makes sense. College or football in general, the job of the home team fans is to make the environment as difficult to play in as possible. Number 6, the first NBA team on there, I already mentioned the Detroit Pistons. Malice at the Palace, all the crazy things that have happened up there over the years. I don't know if it still is now. Maybe tough to tell with the team not doing so well. But
yeah, exactly. There's not much to be hostile about there. I think they'd be more mad at their own team than they are the opposing fans and whatnot.
Yeah, no, maybe that's why it's a hostile fan base.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't necessarily have to mean you're hostile towards the team you're playing.
Right.
You could be hostile against your own team.
And maybe that's why the team sucks, is because they just don't feel loved there.
Yeah,
Show them some love.
Turn it around,
Bro.
Pistons. Come on. The Lions, they set a better example. Do it. Their Lions aren't even hostile. They're not even on this list. All right, number 7, you've already mentioned it. It's the next college football team on here, and we talked about stadiums and EA Sports college football and the LSU Tiger Stadium, Death Valley, whatever you want to call it. It shows up on the Richter scale when they have huge events there. Definitely a very, very hostile environment and tough place to play. I think that's fair at number 7. Number 8, you already mentioned, that was the Manchester United football team. That club been around for a long, long time. They are crazy up there, and the only football club soccer team on here, if I can quickly look at logos. Yeah, I think we're good there. And then number 9, another college football team in the SEC. It's not the Crimson Tide. It is not the Auburn Tigers. It is not the Florida Gators. As we're getting closer to them, who do you think it is?
Man, I guess we'll go with Texas A&M and the Ags.
Nope, they're not even in the top 50.
Oh, so they don't have a hostile environment, but
they're number one on.
Again, we're talking about 2 different publications.
Of course, and they paid a lot of money to EA to put their name on number 1. But
there you go. I wouldn't be surprised by that, even though I think EA kind of used that as one to just get the people going.
Yep.
All right, so Georgia?
Yeah, they got Georgia number 9.
Such friendly fans, man. I
don't know. I've been to a few Georgia games in the away side of things, and it can get a little dicey when.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've talked to a lot of students when I was in college too, and they said away students maybe not treated the best there around the stadium. So I can see, and I'm not making a generality about all Georgia fans. I'm just saying why I can see them being a number 9. All right, number 10, the first hockey team to make the list. And it's part of that city.
Oh, so the Flyers.
The Philadelphia Flyers, the first hockey team on the list, coming in at number 10. Only one of 2 hockey teams in the top 20. So Philadelphia Flyers round out the top 10 as most hostile fan bases. Next is a college football team in the ACC. And they had their offense ranked pretty high according to EA Sports College Football. Very hostile in the late 1990s and
Virginia Tech.
Nope. Way south. Late 1990s, early 2000s.
Miami.
The U indeed coming in as the.
How is that hostile? They don't got nobody showing up for their dang games anymore.
And maybe it's outside of the games. It's just because it's the fan base in general.
Yeah, I guess it is hostile when you think that you're going to be top notch every year, and then you don't even get into victory formation and you fumble the ball.
You got to take.
I had high hopes for Cristobal over there.
No, you got to take your anger out on somebody. It might as well be other fans. That is for sure.
They talk trash with the best of them. That's for sure.
No doubt.
Think that they might be Alabama fans somehow.
Right? No, but they were originally Miami fans.
Yeah.
They didn't just jump on the wagon. All right, number 12, baseball team. I think it's the first. Yeah, they were the first hockey team. They're the first baseball team, and that is but Caveman Rick's
Philadelphia Phillies. Okay.
That is the third team in the top 12, football, hockey, and baseball.
So, they kind of take the cake when it comes to as far as the city goes.
Absolutely. City is making it happen. Number 13, sure, the San Francisco 49ers. I don't see it as much but I think when you're on the fan base, you're not going to see the negativity. You don't want to see the negativity.
Absolutely.
Because so I'm sure there's a lot of people that could echo that. I would say the Dallas Cowboys fan base is a little more hostile than ours, but again, that's me looking from the inside out, not the outside in.
That's a good point. And then also, around there in San Francisco, those fans, they might not be wearing anything that signifies.
Well, and thank goodness the team is in Santa Clara now because downtown San Francisco, they got the vending machines and stuff like that if you need some Narcan or whatever it may be. I don't know. I think that's what you were referring.
Narcan or keep going ham.
There you go. There goes another one. The one downfall of being a Niners fan. But, hey, it is what it is.
Everybody's got to be able to find something to poke some fun about, right?
Poke. Nice. That was good. I don't think Jay would have got that one. All right, next two on the list are both SEC football programs. This one may be a little surprising. I don't know. I don't really have any firsthand experience of this one. And this is the Arkansas Razorbacks being number 14 on the most hostile fan base list.
They also seem like a friendly fan base. Like with Georgia, I guess the reason why I was thinking that they're friendly is, for the most part, with all the success that they've had in these recent years, they're not. I don't see them being as bad as what Alabama fans were during their run or have been during this run, because it's not
when they're being successful.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Like they're kind of, now I got to get to a game between the hedges and see, because I'll wear like a whole wardrobe of different SEC teams.
Yeah, you just have
walk
like
around
Auburn, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, all on one jersey.
Yeah.
There you go. See what happens.
Mr. SEC.
I like it. All SEC. Number 15, we already mentioned it. It's the Florida Gators down there in the swamp.
Yeah.
I think that's a hostile environment
myself.
Absolutely. And, to certain other fan bases, very hostile.
Miami and Florida, they play week 1 or week.
I know.
It's either week 0 or week 1. I believe it's week 1.
I think it's week 1 too. Yeah, and that's obviously going to set the tone for both of those programs. Number 16 on the list, the second basketball team, the fourth team from this particular city, and that is the Philadelphia 76ers. So Philadelphia takes the cake as city with most in the top 20, with the Eagles at 3, the Flyers at 10, the Phillies at 12, and the Philadelphia 76ers at 16.
Man, all four teams
in the top 20. Then you got West Virginia coming in at 17.
Take me home.
There you go. And then another hockey team, the Montreal Canadiens, coming in at number 18. I think that's fair. Unless Canadians and the Maple Leafs and the Canadian teams, they hate the other one. They hate the Leafs, and the Leafs fans hate the Canadiens. So I could see that being very hostile. The Seattle Seahawks coming in at 19.
Yes, gotta be.
Definitely. This
loud as all get out.
Super loud there. Lumen Field. It's not the home of. Is it the home of the 12th man, like Aggies?
I think that they have like a home of the 12th man, yeah. And thanks for saying the name of the stadium, Lumen Field, because the other day I was like, what is it called now?
I know.
Like Light Field?
I just know that because I watch them play once a year.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched a few others.
But it just changes every day.
It does.
Like
It does. It's like Jacksonville, Everbank Stadium. It was TIIA Bank Stadium the last time I went to a game, and then the next time it changed. Seems expensive.
What's the point
to change the signs?
Yeah. What's the point in signing those 10-year deals or whatever if each year it's going to be changing anyway? So
yeah, absolutely.
Go back to naming them after people who had a big deal with your program or whatever it is. Like that's what we want to see, or that's what I like, man, because then there's a team that you don't know a whole lot about or whatever, and you see the field and it's, we'll say Carroll Field or something. It's like, why is it called Carroll Field? And then you get to learn a little bit of history, like learning why the 12th man. We learned from Morgan the other night why the 12th man is the 12th man there for the Texas A&M Aggies. And I love history like that, man. That is, without the sports history and how we got to this point, I mean, to me, I don't think sports are as beautiful as what they are.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and that's a different point too. You've got, the field, a lot of places will have the field name and the stadium name.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they'll name the field after, a legend there. Cause Florida State, right? Bobby Bowden Field at Doak Campbell Stadium.
Exactly.
Even Coastal Carolina, a smaller school, has that. It's, I forget the name of the field now, but it's at Brooks Stadium. It's X Field. Anyway, finishing out real quick.
Grayson McCall Field.
Yeah, Grayson might as well. We're dogs. Kansas at 21. San Jose Sharks 23. The Jets 22. Jets 23. Dodgers 24. Mississippi State 25. Indiana Pacers at 26.
Interesting.
There you go.
I didn't feel like the Indiana Pacers are a hostile fan base, but welcome to the club. Here we are.
There you go. You're so hostile behind the glass.
Indiana Pacers are higher than Alabama?
Yes.
Alabama's they're not a very hostile fan base either. But here's the other thing, man. When you go to other places, you go watch other games, you see a ton of other fans there, right? Like
absolutely.
Even LSU. When I go to Bama games, I don't really see very many other fans.
Yeah.
We just kind of keep y'all out of there.
Absolutely. And then there's a whole nother topic of conversation, best traveling fan bases. And speaking of that, Pittsburgh Steelers they're number 27 on this list. Mets 28, Ravens 29, Florida State Seminoles coming in at 30, Alabama at 31, San Francisco Giants 32, Michigan State Spartans 33, Chicago Cubs 34, Bengals 35, Oregon, Atlanta Braves, Kentucky, Dallas at 39, I think is way too low. Ole Miss Rebels at 40, and then your last 10, the Chicago Bears, the Utah Utes, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Cleveland Indians, the Wisconsin Badgers, the the Denver Broncos, the Portland Trailblazers, the Maryland Terps, the Seattle Mariners, and then rounding out the top 50, the Boston Bruins.
Boston Bruins. It's kind of surprising that Boston is so low. I don't even know
like
if
the
you said
Celtics,
something.
and the only Boston team on here in the top 50 is the Bruins.
And Boston's a lot like Philly, where they will give you that lip, and they will give it to you plentiful as well.
In an accent, nonetheless.
Yes.
In an accent, nonetheless.
Not even going to know where your car is.
Let's see. Where'd your pocket? I don't know. But that rounds out the top 50 most hostile fan bases in all of sports, according to Big Game Boomer. Obviously, it's extremely opinionated, but kind of fun to talk about. No doubt about it. When we get back, it'll be our final segment on this Thursday. You listen to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
For 7 years, ESPN Northwest Florida has been your destination on the Panhandle for the Atlanta Braves.
He just blew the doors off that thing.
But our listeners are the real MVP.
Another dominating performance.
So this year, we're giving away more tickets to Truist Park than ever before. Keep listening to win family 4-packs to experience the Atlanta Braves. From ESPN Northwest Florida, PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Fairfield, Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites.
Discover the new Kia during the Summer Sticker Sales event going on now at Bill Bird Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Now enjoy the view this summer because the road is yours in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or new 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per month per 1,000 financed in 48 months. Quality's limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/8/24.
Man, is it hot. Not only is the weather hot, the savings on name brand Western wear at That Boot Store is sizzling. During their 60th anniversary celebration going on now. Shop the hot deals in air conditioning comfort and be amazed at the tremendous selections of Carhartt work clothes and Western wear available at That Boot Store. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 until 5:30. Next to Bill Bird Kia, 15th Street, Panama City. That Boot Store where God is good all the time.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Have a quick stretch first.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
Must have pulled something playing hoops last week.
And Jay Henley.
I know you're not putting that rock up from here. You ain't got no J.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. All right, I figure we're getting close to the middle of the season. The Inside Drive is not going to be live next week. We're going to do either best of or national programming with the holiday. I've got some family coming into town, got another week of treatment. So we're just going to take it easy next week, take a little breather. I know we do have a couple flag football games next week, but
Are we playing on July 4th?
No. So, and you may not be able to make that one because they're playing two games next week back to back, Monday and Tuesday. So I know Monday you have your softball. So
yeah, but coaching is more important than
whatever you need to do. But yeah, because that's why they did it, because they're not going to play a game on July 4th.
What time do we play on Monday?
I want to say
we could discuss it later.
Well, it's either 7 or 8. No, we just talked about it the whole time.
There you go.
Where is it now, Frank Nelson? Anyway, we picked, Jay, David, and I earlier in the season, or earlier in the year, picked who we thought would win each division, and a lot of points up for stake. That'll be part of our next point thing. 10 points available for each one if you get correct. Let's see where we stand right now with the current standings. Obviously, the NL East, none of us currently have the leader, as the Philadelphia Phillies have a 8-game lead over the Atlanta Braves. Long way to go. A couple series against the Braves that could close that gap a little bit, but all three of us did pick the Braves in that one. NL Central, you remember who you picked in that one, David?
Yeah, the bottom of the barrel right now, the Chicago Cubs.
Chicago Cubs. Jay took those Pittsburgh Pirates, and I took the Cincinnati Reds, so I am right there with you. Currently, the Brewers lead that division by 6 games over the St. Louis Cardinals, with the Pirates being 8.5 game back. Cincinnati Reds, I'm only a half game better than you are at 10.5 back, and then the Chicago Cubs are currently 11 games back in that one. So
started out so well, but I just, Milwaukee Brewers, after the trade with Corbin Burns, it was like, no, they're not going to bounce back from that, and they have, man. They have been playing some good baseball, and then they even just picked up Dallas Keuchel from the Minnesota Twins. So we'll see, are they able to will his career have a resurgence? We shall find out. That is for sure. And all three of us currently have this division leader, which is not surprising. Probably it's always tough to pick at the beginning of the season because so many things can happen, but I think this was probably the easiest one to pick thus far. A lot could change, but the Los Angeles Dodgers currently leading the NL West. All three of us picked the Los Angeles Dodgers. The San Diego Padres are 8.5 games back right now, with the Diamondbacks, the Giants, and the Rockies. Rockies just might as well throw in the towel now because that's a tough one. Yeah, but they got cheap beer prices over there. They do, and it doesn't take as much to get you there. No doubt about it. But all three of us picked the Dodgers in that one. Over on the AL side of things, the AL East, all three of us picked a different team. All three of us picked different teams in all three of the AL divisions. Do you remember who you picked in the AL East? Oh, man. Who did I go with? I think I went Yankees.
You did.
Yeah.
You went with the Yankees up there. They currently have a 1-game lead over the Baltimore Orioles.
2-8 in their last 10, though.
Yeah, that's good. We got to keep that. Braves had a good part of that as well. And Jay did take that team that's 1 game back, the Baltimore Orioles. And I took the Boston Red Sox, who are currently 8 games back. So you and Jay in a tight race in that one.
Hey, but for the Red Sox, over 500, I believe. And they've been battling, man. They're kind of going under the radar, which is not a bad thing here at this point in the season.
Yeah, 8-2 in their last 10 games and currently 43-37. So yeah, absolutely making a run, no doubt about it. All right, next division that we picked was the AL Central. Do you remember who you picked in that one?
Not the Guardians, but the Minnesota Twins.
The Twins, and Jay took the Detroit White Sox there.
Detroit Tigers.
Detroit Tigers. I knew I was going to say the wrong one. It's a lot of talking for me this show. So
yeah, man.
I'm winding down here towards the end.
I know how that feels, bro. You're just grasping at straws.
Just keep on going.
It's nice to be on this side of that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I did take the Cleveland Guardians. Jim Durant does a great job of keeping me updated on Facebook what the Guardians were always doing. So I was like, you know what? And they're doing great for my fantasy team.
Yeah.
I've got Naylor and a couple other guys, and they currently have an 8-game lead over the Minnesota Twins, with the Detroit Tigers being 15 games back there in the Central Division. Last but not least, the AL West. Do you remember who you picked, D. Hayes?
AL West. I think I went with the Astros.
You did. Your memory is way better than mine. You did go with the Astros, who are currently 4.5 games back of the Seattle Mariners, who I picked in that one. And Jay took the Angels, and they're 11 games back. So we're kind of spread out all over the place in this right now.
And with the Astros, they just touched 500 for the first time this year, yesterday or the day before that.
Yes.
So that is a team that you've got to watch out for.
Absolutely.
They did lose JP France, though. He's going to be going out with shoulder surgery, so he'll be out for the season. But yeah, they're kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs to me. You just don't count them out until they are all the way out.
Yep.
4 weeks ago, we're talking about, is it time for the Astros to hit the panic button? Now, is it time for the other teams in the AL West to panic a little bit, seeing the Astros move up the leaderboard like this?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll find out. When's the trade deadline coming up?
Trade deadline will be sometime in August.
Okay. So still got a couple more months, and All-Star break coming up in July here pretty soon?
Yeah, we're coming up quick on that.
Man, time is flying, no doubt about that. So, we've all still kind of got a shot to win some of the different divisions when it comes to that one. Talking about some football, not football, but there's as
July 30th, actually, for the trade deadline.
Oh, wow, right there before August 1st. So coming up here pretty soon, really about a month away. Man, time is flying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk some football. We were both talking about how we enjoy watching international soccer, and there's a lot of it going on right now. But the European Championships, the Euro as it's called, the round of 16, the knockout rounds are set and ready to get started this Saturday. But yesterday, Venezuela and Georgia scored some massive wins, both through to the knockout stages. Georgia registered the largest upset in Euro's history. I don't really know. It's obviously they were plus 700. They were a huge underdog in this game, but I think Portugal was really not pushing it too much. They had some of their stars sitting out because they knew they had already qualified for the knockout stages, so didn't want to risk any injuries, yellow cards, all those things. But Georgia's superstar Kajveka Krajasavela.
Wonderful job on the pronunciation.
That was a tough one.
I would have just called him KK or something.
Yeah, there you go. It's a pretty cool thing. Their story is very cool, and it's funny to type Georgia and underdog in a sport that most of the world calls football. But we are closely watching them as they move on to the international tournament. Again, that gets started this Saturday coming up. You got Germany and Denmark. You've got Spain and Georgia. It's going to be a tough task for the Georgia, but you never know. They might be able to do it. France and Belgium, and then Portugal, and I believe that is SVN. Is that going to be Sweden, or is that going to be What is that one? Slovenia. There we we go.
Slovenia. Luka Doncic.
Ooh, there you go. I don't think he's playing any soccer, though, and Portugal is pretty stout. And then on the other side of the bracket, you've got the Swiss taking on the Italians. You got the English taking on Slovakia. And then you've got Romania and the Netherlands, and then Austria and Turkey rounding out your 16 teams in the round of 16.
Seems like that first side of the bracket seems a little tougher to come out of than the latter side.
I would say, I mean, the Italians are pretty good. The English are, right up there. Netherlands, of course, is always a tough out. They've got a great team there. But, yeah, you've got both Portugal, France, Spain, and Germany on the left side of the Euro bracket there. So definitely tough.
Which match of those are you looking forward to the most, do you think?
I've since learned how much of a Portugal fan Liam is.
Yeah.
He's ripping off all
Ronaldo?
I get, but he's ripping off all these other player names and all that. He's like, oh, there's that guy, and I think
it's because of maybe eye speed or something like that.
Yes. You're always so hip with all these.
Well, I scroll through Facebook a lot, and I don't really, I guess, dig it or whatever, but there's just, it's easier for me to hear someone say something and then my brain just kind of clicks, whereas I'm not going to come up with those things off the top of my head or whatever.
Yeah, so, absolutely. So, and it goes back to, how easy it is to pay attention to sports because of social media and all this different stuff. But, I think Portugal, is going to be a tough team. And, since he's a big Portugal guy, I'll root for Portugal. And I like the Netherlands, too. I like the Dutch. So, but I love this kind of soccer.
It doesn't get better than this, man. I mean, the same reason we love the Olympics, the World Cup, even the Ryder Cup. Anytime that you're pitting other countries against other countries, regardless of it being the World Cup or these smaller little tournaments, it doesn't get better than this.
Yeah, I totally agree. Anytime you're playing not for money but for your country, it's a whole different ball game. And then switching over out of Europe to Copa America, which is your tournament of all your North American, Latin American, South American teams, in the second week of the group stage. This week it's been going on. Canada beat Peru 1-0 earlier in the week. Argentina beat Chile 1-0. And then yesterday you had Ecuador beat Jamaica 3-1, and Venezuela beat Mexico 1-0. I know Messi has a little hamstring issue or something like that going on, so something to keep an eye on going forward, as he will not be competing in the Olympics this year. And then tonight, Mercedes-Benz Stadium up there in Hotlanta, we may have some people going up from down here in the Florida Panhandle. The United States takes on Panama at 5 p.m. Central Time. So I would assume that their concession prices are still pretty respectful at soccer games.
Well, we had a text earlier from, I don't know who, because we have a new text system.
Yes.
So with that, when
Put
you
your
text
name.
text your name with us so I can save you into our contact information. Someone said, wow, Dave, low blow. And then someone also said, let them Canes have it, David. It also smells hostile in Gainesville. So that's got to be a Florida State guy right there.
Absolutely. It's kind of fun not knowing. It's kind of like, where is this person? Yeah, okay. All right.
Anonymous text.
Inside
drive.
Just keep it PG, please. We don't need to be hostile here.
I can censor. I censor.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
They can text whatever they want.
That's true. That's true. It's not showing up. Absolutely.
Exactly. Now, if Jay was reading the text, then maybe
he's like Ron Burgundy. He's going to read whatever's on that teleprompter. No doubt about it. But yes, United States, Panama tonight. Looking forward to that one. U.S. obviously had a great opening round victory last week. I think they play. Who did they play last week? Bolivia. And they won that one 3-0. But they're currently tied with points in their group C, with Uruguay both 1-0, Panama and Bolivia both 0-1. So big game for the United States coming up tonight.
There to the knockout stage.
Absolutely. That gives them 6 points, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and obviously nothing for a loss. In Group A, currently Argentina is leading that one with 6. Looks like they're well on their way. Canada is 1 win and 1 draw. They've got 3 points, with Chile and Peru both with a draw and a loss and only 1 point. Group B is Venezuela, Ecuador, Mexico, and Jamaica. Jamaica. Kind of the same thing in Group B as Group A. Venezuela's got 6 points with 2 wins and no losses. Ecuador is 1-0-1 with 3 points. Mexico is 1-0-1 with 3 points. And Jamaica's got some work to do as they are 0-2 and 0 points so far with the second week well underway. And then in the final group, we already talked about Group C. So in the final group, Group D, you've got Colombia, who is 1-0-0. They're playing some games later on this week as well. Brazil is 0-1-0 as they had a draw with with Costa Rica, which was a little bit surprising. But, that's why you play the game. Costa Rica 0-1-0 as well. And then Paraguay lost to Colombia, so they have no points in that final group. But looking forward to, obviously, we're probably not, we'll watch a little bit of that game before we have to get over to the football field. Hopefully the weather holds out and we can play some flag football tonight and have some fun. But you guys are coming up at 4 p.m. Make sure you tune in the afternoon underdogs. Congratulations to Travis on winning the 4 tickets to go see the Braves go play the Philadelphia Phillies next Friday. Keep an eye out for more of those giveaways. That is the summer of the tickets for the Atlanta Braves. They are playing off night tonight. They're back.
No, we got Chicago tonight. Chicago White Sox make up from a rain delay.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. There you go. So some action. That's what? It's a 6:20 first pitch. Normal stuff probably after your show.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. I got to figure out what time it is.
There you go. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Though, the Braves will be
one way or the other. A lot of Braves action on ESPN Northwest Florida today, tomorrow, and Saturday. We appreciate you tuning in. You guys have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow.
Team plays here.
And a rocket to right field. This thing is into orbit.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Acuna, Ozzie, and Austin Riley lead the Braves' high-powered offense.
Swung on, belted, deep right field. Get out of here, Ozzie. Home run. Ball game.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Brock's Pest Control, Stormore Portable Buildings, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Billberg Kia, and Mid-South Lumber.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The remainder of the day, a likelihood of thunderstorms and some clouds and a temperature of 86 with wind 13 to 17 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. A mixture of some clouds and likely thunderstorms tonight and quite warm near 80. Definite thunderstorms and 86 tomorrow. 87 and some sun in the early morning, but otherwise likely thunderstorms Saturday. This is your Thursday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
WGSX Lynn Haven WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
I don't really worry about J.J. Redick. I worry about the Lakers' impatience and competence. Now, the good news for the Lakers, they have 3 nice pieces. So there are far worse situations in the NBA to inherit what J.J. Redick is.
A new day in the herd starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
You guys can laugh at me all you want.
This is The Herd.
Oh, yeah.
With Colin Cowherd.
I'm setting the tone.
Best show on radio.
This is The Herd.
Broadcasting live from Los Angeles. With Colin out.
What?
Here's Jason McIntyre.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to The Herd on a glorious Thursday here in California. It's me, Jason McIntyre, in for Colin Cowherd. I'm wearing my Knicks blue today. I think this is a Knicks blue. Very excited for my New York Knicks, winners of NBA Draft Week. I'm here joined today by Alex Curry. Alex, how are you?
Yeah, you gotta be feeling pretty good. They went all in on chemistry yesterday.
I love it.
Let's just say, I mean, if you're gonna bet on something, bet on chemistry.
Yeah. We'll do a lot of Knicks today. We'll do plenty of Lakers. We got USA Soccer today. I mean, it's a monster week. I'm happy to be back from sweltering Arizona. It was oppressive, and I'm excited. You know, listen, I didn't quite have the energy on Monday. You know, a tough weekend in Arizona, watching my daughter's volleyball team. I'm back and refreshed today, and I got to start with my Knicks, because this is as exciting a time as we've seen with the New York Knicks, maybe since the mid-'90s with Patrick Ewing. Folks, the Knicks, big winners, trading for Mikal Bridges. They are going all in on chemistry. Mikal Bridges was had for 5 draft picks, okay? We'll get to that shortly, but I've got to start with, I absolutely love what my Knicks are doing. They're now the Villanova Knicks, because they got 4 guys in Brunson, DiVincenzo, Bridges, and Hart, who won a title in Villanova back maybe like 7-8 years ago, and now they're reunited, and it feels so good in New York. I know a lot of people will get to that shortly, but I need to start with something, because it feels like for months on this show, we've been talking about how the Knicks they've got to draft assets. They can go for a number 1. They can go grab Karl Anthony Towns. The Knicks can go after Joel Embiid. Maybe we can pluck him from Philadelphia. What about Paul George? All we've been hearing is, hey, the Knicks need either a number 1 star or a number 2 to go with Jalen Brunson, who maybe isn't a 1, maybe he's a 1B, and all that nonsense. Folks, the Knicks are disrupting a hierarchy of, you need superstars to win in the league. You need one of the 5 or 10 best players. You need the Shaq and Kobe. You need the Jokic, the multiple-time MVP. You need that superstar. And the Knicks are saying, not so fast, my friends. There's another way to skin a cat, as they like to say. We've seen this throughout the economy at large, outside of sports, right? We saw the internet disrupt traditional media. We then saw social media disrupt the internet and websites. And now we're starting to see AI taking over, disrupting Google and their dominance in search. And I mean, listen, in the vehicle market, we're seeing EVs disrupting automobiles. In the NFL, look what the 49ers are doing. Hey, we know everybody needs a quarterback, and then you build around the QB. Why don't we try something different? Why don't we try building the infrastructure and then plugging in a Jimmy Garoppolo, a Brock Purdy, and let's see how that works out. And they've been to a couple Super Bowls. The Knicks are doing the same thing. We don't need no superstar. We can build with chemistry. And what they've got with this team in New York right now, folks, their odds shifted after the Bridges trade. They have now the 3rd best odds to win the title after Boston and Denver. This is a massive shock to the system. And listen, you don't need to go far to see what Minnesota did when they said, we're going to trade a bunch of picks for Rudy Gobert. They were openly mocked. Didn't go great the first year. What happened in year 2? They were built to take down Denver, and that's just what they did in the postseason. Gobert matched up with Jokic. It went swimmingly, Minnesota to the conference finals. If you look at this New York roster, 1 through 9, folks, they match up great with the Boston Celtics. You now have, Nobi, the 2 best defensive wings in the league to match up with Brown and Tatum. Then you've got your point guard in Brunson. Hey, giving up 5 draft picks. I saw a headline on a website. Knicks fleeced for Mikal Bridges. No-time All-Star Mikal Bridges for 5 first-round picks. Are you crazy? Doesn't really matter. The Knicks are built now to battle Boston. New York is clearly the 2nd-best team in the East. That's undeniable. I don't care what Joel Embiid does. Joel Embiid adds Paul George to Tyrese Maxey and the kid McCain, who I like in the draft. It's not going to matter. The Knicks are better 1 through 9. They kept Julius Randle. Jason, Julius Randle, come on, he's trade bait. Maybe. He's also a 2-time All-NBA player in the last 3 years. Julius Randle's a very solid player to go with Brunson and Anunoby and Bridges. And oh, by the way, you got glue guy Josh Hart. You got Donte DiVincenzo. Folks, I know people are saying they're going to lose Hartenstein, the center, who was invaluable. But I want to remind everybody what they did last night, the Knicks in the draft. With 25, they got a draft and stash European player. And then at 26, they traded it. So now they're able to save, I think I saw the number was $3 million. if that is able to keep Hartenstein, I'm telling you right now, I remember those 90s Knicks teams. Remember, I was not a Jordan fan. I was a Knicks fan, born in New York. I love New York. This team is ready to make a run like the Patrick Ewing team did in the 90s. I love the New York Knicks and what they've done this draft week. Now let's pivot to Los Angeles, Lake New York. And then the first couple games I went to as a young guy were Knicks-Lakers, as fortune would have it. And I fell in love with Magic Johnson. And a lot of the last 24 hours deals in the draft in Dalton Connect. Now, Colin likes to make fun of me, okay, for watching and gambling on college basketball all season. He's like, Jay, what are you doing? I love me some college hoops. And I'll tell you right now, Dalton Connect was one of the best stories in college basketball last season. This is a guy who went to junior college. He grew 3 inches from like a 6'3" point guard to a 6'6" wing. He went to the Big Sky. He went from second team all Big Sky to first team All-American at Tennessee. He is an assassin when it comes to shooting. I think he scored 38 against Purdue in the NCAA tournament, which they lost. I think he gave UNC 40, dropped like 39 on Kentucky. This guy is a sniper. He kind of sort of might remind the Lakers' new coach, J.J. Redick, of himself. Here's Rob Pelinka of the Lakers talking about drafting Dalton Connect.
We would have never imagined a player as skilled and sort of perfect for our needs would be there for us as Dalton Connect. We had him, as a top 10 player unanimously across our scouting boards. I was at the SEC tournament, scouting him extensively, and in my mind was like, there's no way a player like this could be available for us to pick on draft night.
And he was nearly right. A lot of the mock drafts that are respected had Connect as a top 10 pick, some top 6. Now, I've been doing the NBA draft for a long time. I didn't have Connect in the lottery because I know the history. He's 23 years old. The history of lottery is littered with failure. A lot of that has to do with, hey, this is a guy who was 22, 23 as a college basketball player playing against teenagers. Of course he's going to slaughter them. And so those guys drafted high usually end up being massive failures. But Connect fell out of the lottery, and oh, by the way, he fell into the lap of LeBron and Anthony Davis. Pretty good place to fall. Now, Redick, if you guys recall, was a guy at Duke who was an absolute sniper, one of the best scorers I've ever seen in college basketball. But his prototype was like, and this guy can't. Who can he defend? J-Mac, he might not be able to defend you in your men's league. Who could Dalton Connect defend? It's a different story, folks. It's a different league right now. You want those switchable wings. Will people pick on Dalton Connect? Maybe, but you know what? He's got Anthony Davis behind him. I can tell you right now, unequivocally, Dalton Connect will be a key rotation player for the Lakers this season. Unlike the guy they drafted, Hood Schifino, last year, who did absolutely nothing. He was one of those upside plays. So Connect is a big win, which leads me to J.J. Redick and Connect. I think it's going to be a good marriage. I'm almost certain that Connect kind of pushed for him. Redick pushed for Connect. But something Redick said at his presser was kind of glossed over. And I want to touch on it because I absolutely love this topic. Here's J.J. Redick talking about the media at his press conference.
It's been a really interesting, just in terms of, being part of the engagement farming industry. It's been really interesting. However, I don't really have a great question because I really don't give a honestly. I want to coach the team. I don't. I want to become a great coach in the NBA, and I want to win championships. That's all I care about.
I kind of love J.J. Redick now. Engagement farming. What a phrase.